Today we'll be discussing the topic thermodynamics. So from thermodynamics again you can expect at least two questions. Okay. So what do you mean by thermodynamics is a part you need to understand. First ಒಮ್ಮೆ synopsis ಅನ್ನು brief ಆಗಿ discuss ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ. Now in thermodynamics, thermo refers to heat. You learn thermodynamics in physics also. Here in chemistry part you will learn few physical aspects and few thermochemistry that is related to chemical aspects. Dynamic always refers to movement or motion. In general, thermodynamics is that part which actually tells us the conversion of heat to any other forms of energy and their relationships between them. Now, I hope you know what is system. System means, now say for example, we will consider this box as universe, complete universe ಅಂತಂತ consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. Now in this universe, if I take a beaker which I'm heating in order to carry out the reaction, now this is called as system. What is system? This part, the part of the universe where the experiment is conducted or observation is made, that is called a system. ಆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಾಕಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಆ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as surrounding. So what does universe constitute of? Universe constitutes system and surroundings, which is separated by an imaginary boundary ಅಂತಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ separate ಆಗಿ. So we consider that what separates system and surrounding is the boundary of it. What is open system, closed system, isolated system? So since we know what is system, ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿನ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಡಿಯನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆರ್ ಆಫ್ ತ್ರೀ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ mainly: open, closed and isolated. Open system, let us consider a beaker containing water. A beaker containing water which is heated. In this case, what is happening? Here the matter can also exchange at the same time. Energy can also exchange. Energy, let us say, in the form of heat here. Alva, illi matter kuda change agbodu. Matter, the main three states of matter being solid, liquid and gases. So ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ವೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಮತ್ತು ವೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ as well as energy. This is called as open system. Whereas closed system is the same system if you close it, if you cover it with a lid. You call it as closed system. Illi iga heat exchange agbohudu but not matter. So exchange of matter, exchange of energy is possible but not matter. It is called as closed system. Whereas isolated system, example is thermos flask. Thermos flask is an example. Thermos flask. There is one more example called as D-bars flask. All these are example for isolated system. So what happens in these? In these, there is no exchange of matter nor energy. Even you flask use ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಿ ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿ ಇಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, there you can see that ಆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ತರ there is no exchange of matter as well. You need to know which is a state variable and which is path variable. So state variable means it depends on initial and final state only, like pressure. We can take it as P2 minus P1. Temperature T2 minus T1 we can take. Volume as V2 minus V1. amount of the substance as N2 minus N1. You know, amount of substance unit is number of moles, N, correct? No? Mole is the unit. So initial, final amount can be considered. So these are called as state variables. Whereas, what are path variables? Path variables are those which depends only on the path. For example, remember heat and work done. Work done, important point. Heat and work done, W and Q, are path variables. Why are they path variables? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫೈನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರ ಬದಲಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Now thermodynamic processes, it can be classified as isothermal, adiabatic, isochoric, isobaric, cyclic, reversible, irreversible. Now what do you mean by isothermal process? Iso means same. What is same here? Thermal. Temperature is same. So constant temperature. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ 10 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ T1. Next temperature becomes again 10 degrees Celsius itself. So if you take T2 minus T1, T2 minus T1, which we can call it as delta T, what does it become? 10 minus 10, 0, correct? That is what we are telling. ಯಾವಾಗ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಆಗ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಟಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 0 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಐಸೋಥರ್ಮಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಟಿ ಇಸ್ 0. ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐಸೋಥರ್ಮಲ್ ಕಂಡ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ or remember that delta T is 0 in that reaction. Next comes adiabatic process. So here adiabatic means Q is 0. So heat is not liberated during the process. Heat is neither absorbed nor liberated. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ heat exchange ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ Q 0 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Isobaric process is where, see, bar. Isobaric process or baric process. In this, it refers to pressure. Okay, so isobaric process is the one in which pressure is constant. Therefore, delta P is equal to 0. Isochoric process is the one in which what is constant? Volume is constant. Therefore, here delta V will be 0 for isochoric process. Then coming to cyclic process ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಪುನಃ ಅದೇ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ you call it as a cyclic process. Complete cycle and again it comes to that point. Reversible process is the one which can be reversed at any instant of time. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ A to B and then B to C. If you want to reverse the reaction at any point, you can stop and by changing the conditions you can reverse it. That is called as reversible reaction. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, you have taken ice cube. Okay, you want to melt it to form water. So can you reverse it? Of course. If you stop and start freezing this particular substance, it gets converted to solid, correct? No, it is reversible process. Irreversible process is like now we say no waterfall which cannot be reversed. ಅದು ಒಮ್ಮೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪುನಃ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗದಿರೋದನ್ನ irreversible process ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. Okay, so these points you need to always understand because most of the questions ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಹಾಗೆ. One more point what I want to mention here itself is, remember always the sign conventions you have to remember. Sign conventions. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ? See, now heat is given as Q. Heat is given as Q. When is Q positive? Can you answer? Q ಯಾವಾಗ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಹೀಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆದಾಗನ ಹೀಟ್ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆದಾಗನ? Questions from this. See, the first question is identify the correct statement regarding entropy. Entropy means the disorderness in the system. A system alli eshtra mattige disorderness ide annodu entropy. So choose the correct option according to that. That is what is asked. Correct statement. You are asked to find correct statement. Therefore, at absolute zero temperature, entropy of perfectly crystalline substance is taken to be zero. At absolute zero temperature, entropy of perfectly crystalline substance is positive. At absolute zero temperature, entropy of all crystalline substance is zero. At 0 degrees Celsius, entropy of perfectly crystalline substance is taken to be zero. Which is the right answer? Which is the right answer here? It's according to which law? It is according to second law of thermodynamics. That is, at absolute zero temperature, entropy of perfectly crystalline substance is taken to be zero, which is the right answer. This is the right answer. Okay, let's move to second question. 1 mole of an ideal gas at 300 Kelvin is expanded isothermally. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Isothermally ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. That whenever you see this term isothermally, what has to come to your mind? What you must know? Isothermally means delta T is equal to 0. Initial volume of 1 liter to 10 liter. That means initial volume is 1 liter, final volume is 10 liter. Delta U for the process is. So you are asked to calculate delta U. Let us calculate now. So remember that we have one more formula to calculate delta U. Delta U is equal to 1 we have is Q plus W. But illi volume kottidare. So since volume is given, you can even calculate delta V, then substitute in work and then again calculate. But pressure is not given. Correct? Therefore, delta U is equal to N into CV into delta T is the formula. Now in this formula, if you have to calculate, already it is mentioned isothermally. Isothermally means delta T is 0. If delta T becomes 0, delta U also becomes 0. Therefore, option B is the answer. Which is the right answer? Option B is the right answer.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.